Variety is the spice of life and the source of great knowledge base. This is what our podcasts are full of. Our pods will help you become more informed, entertained, culturally aware, invigorated, astonishingly good-looking, and the person that everyone would like to be. You can be ever held in awe simply by listening to universalexports.co.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition. You are now tuned.
You indeed are. You are tuned to universalexports.co. And in today's episode, we'll visit some hogs in the woods, share a Welsh rarebit, check out a Russian lighthouse in space, microwave something, and listen to a Turdis Merula. Did you know microwaves don't cook food from the inside out, like most people believe? They have a wide variety of uses, these microwaves, from mobile phone networks to wireless connections like Bluetooth, global positioning systems, radio telescopes and radar. They all rely on microwaves of differing frequencies. They do carry more energy than radio waves. They're a long way from the dangerous waves such as X-rays and gamma rays. Microwave ovens don't directly cook food. What they do is heat water. The frequency of the microwave happens to be just right for exciting the water molecules. By spreading their energy evenly through food, the microwaves heat the water in it and the hot water cooks the food. Nearly all food contains water, but microwaves won't cook completely dry food like cornflakes, rice or pasta.
Space Talk, Space Talk, Space Talk.
Look upwards tonight and you might see a new star streaking across the sky. A Russian CubeSat called Mayak, meaning lighthouse, was successfully launched last month and it is set to be one of the brightest objects in the night sky. Mayak was launched from Baikonur Spaceport aboard a Soyuz 2-1A rocket. A reflector in the shape of a 3-metre tall pyramid is there to achieve two of Mayak's main scientific goals. Made of a thin reflective metallized membrane, the pyramid is designed to catch the sun's rays and reflect the light back to Earth, which the team says makes it the second brightest object in the sky after the moon. That allows Mayak to be used as a reference object to help measure the apparent magnitude or brightness of satellites. The second goal of the reflector is to increase drag on the satellite. The team is testing a new space brake system designed to help Mayak deorbit faster and burn up as it re-enters Earth's atmosphere. If the system works, it could be applied as a disposal method for other satellites to help declutter low Earth orbit, which is currently full of old space junk that poses an increasing hazard to all things out there. To help stargazers track Mayak's journey and know where to crane their necks upwards, the team has released an Android app with an iOS version to follow. Unfortunately, though, there's no English translation just yet, so if you're interested in catching a glimpse, you'll have to either brush up on your Russian or use another satellite tracking device like N2YO. Mayak will stay in orbit for about a month before it begins its descent. Yes, enough of that. Earlier this week, we had the opportunity to visit ACMI, that's the Australian Centre for the Moving Image, and it's the National Film and Sound Archive. And this month, they joined forces to present a huge collection of accessible audio and video content. From early footage of the Melbourne Cup and the landmark The Story of the Kelly Gang to award-winning animations and shorts, you can access moving image content for research, learning and entertainment. The space contains 12 viewing booths, and they're rather intimate. Each booth is fitted with 4 headsets, so you can choose to watch alone or with friends, or with anyone. You can view a huge range of national and international content, including on-demand digital films, highlights from over 100 years of Australian and international film, Australian television programs, video artworks, student and community-made short films, and film stills and publicity materials. We called in there after going into the Ian Potter Gallery to see the exhibition Brave New World, which centres around the 1930s. So we wandered up there to the Mediatek to see if we could find anything of Melbourne of the 1930s, and were surprised to find some really, really interesting stuff. Highly recommend that you do go there. The Mediatek is located next to the ACMI shop on Federation Square level and is open to everyone, usually a Monday to Sunday, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. After we'd done all that, we called into the cafe and bar to have a little bite. I've got to admit, the menu was really quite full of variety, such as citrus gin cured ocean trout, baby beetroot and roasted shallot tarte tartine, smoked ham hock and pea risotto, the Ardman Deluxe Wagyu burger, and wild mushroom pappardelle, just to mention a few things. We, in fact, decided we'd share the Wensleydale Welsh Rarebit and thought it would come out as a cheese sandwich with a bit of sauce on it. But, in fact, it was a huge meal that we were able to share with plenty left over. It was just really good at a very good price. The menu is really fantastic and not an expensive day out. And if you are a member of ACMI, you get a 10% discount on all your drinks and all your food from the cafe and bar. Well, what an exciting way to start that one off. Today we're going to talk about Hogs in the Woods from the Fleurieu Peninsula. It's a Tempranillo 2014 red wine. Let me tell you about Tempranillo wines. Tempranillo is a red grape variety which forms the backbone of some of the finest wines from Spain and Portugal. Almost every red wine from the Rioja and the Ribera del Duero has Tempranillo as its core, and in Portugal, under the name of Tinta Roriz, both for table wines and fortified wines like port. Tempranillo vines have been successfully adopted in California, Argentina, as well as Australia, particularly around the Fleurieu Peninsula, which is south of Adelaide and south of McLaren Vale, near Victor Harbour, actually. Tempranillo means a little early one, a name given to it by its Spanish growers who observed that its habit of ripening earlier than the Grenache grapes with which it is traditionally blended. A thick-skinned red grape of deep-coloured wines with moderate tannins, Tempranillo is well suited to modern consumer taste. While the variety lacks its own idiosyncratic flavour profile, the wide range of aromas detectable in the Tempranillo-based wines result in tasting notes ranging from, get this, strawberries, blackcurrants and cherries to prunes, chocolate and tobacco depending on the vineyard, age and mesoclimate. Compared to your Shirazes, it's a light, I find it's a light, easy-drinking wine which will go with just about any food style, as well as easy summer Sundays, afternoons, quaffing. I bet you looked around to see if that was actually in the room with you then. That is the sound of our Turdis Merula, or common blackbird. The common blackbird is one of the two introduced true thrush species in Australia. You might recognise them when you hear the repeated chuk, chuk, chuk. I did that well. Call it with this melodious warbling song which you can hear in the background. The reason I bring it up, it is currently the breeding season which runs through from September to January. They usually have a clutch size of 3 to 5, and the incubation is about 14 days, so they're all over the place at the moment. Just a little bit more information about Mr. Turdis Merula. The common blackbird was introduced in Australia in Melbourne in the 1850s. The male is the blackbird with deep orange to yellow bill and narrow yellow eye ring and dark legs. The female is a brown bird, a little duller I think, with some streaks or mottling, and has a dark bill and legs. Immature birds are similar to the female with lighter underparts. The common blackbird is not readily confused with other blackbirds, as it's much smaller than most Australian birds with a similar colouring and has a distinctive yellow eye ring. The common blackbird was originally confined to Melbourne and Adelaide, but has gradually expanded its range throughout south-eastern Australia, both on the coast and inland, as far north as Sydney and including Tasmania and Bass Strait Islands. The common blackbird is most often found in urban areas and surrounding localities, but has successfully moved into bushland habitats. It's often seen in orchards, vineyards and gardens, as well as along roadsides and parks. It eats insects, earthworms, snails, spiders and a range of seeds and fruit. It will mainly forage on the ground, probing and scratching in leaf litter, lawns and soil. It builds a cup-shaped nest of dried grass bound with mud, and they're usually quite sturdy and lined with fine grasses. It is usually placed in a tree, shrub or low bush, but they will also use tree hollows. The common blackbird is viewed as a pest in orchards, parks and gardens. Yeah, we find it does make a mess around the place, but I look at that and say, this just proves that I've got blackbirds, and we like birds around here. They do earn their keep by keeping the snugs and slails at bay. Well, that about wraps it up today from universalexports.co. We again hope you found it really interesting, with lots of facts that you can bring up at your next barbecue or dinner party. Look forward to seeing you at our next episode, which will be 008. Today being 007. Has anyone worked out the link between that and Universal Exports? Write to me, let us know. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe. It is free, and we look forward to hearing your comments. Contact us at info@universalexports.co.